Episode 8.4, Undefined Centers, A Path to New Opportunities. Location: a bustling city market at sunset. Stalls filled with vegetables, fruits, and handmade crafts line the streets. Andrey and Grandi stand at a booth offering exotic fruits. Andrey is drawn to the mangoes, while Grandi, lost in thought, points to a tray of rare berries. You know, sometimes the undefined centers in a bodygraph remind me of walking through a market, begins Andrey, holding a ripe mango. Why a market? Asks Grandi, observing a local vendor deftly stacking pomegranates into a perfect pyramid. Well, think about it. Andrey gestures at the lively scene around them. You come here with one intention: to buy what you need. But then you see so many unexpected things. Maybe you wanted apples, but you leave with mangoes and berries. Undefined centers work in a similar way. So an undefined center is like an empty basket you fill along the way? Grandi tilts his head, reflecting on the analogy. Exactly, but it's more than just filling it. Andrey continues. It's about discovering new flavors and perspectives. These centers open us up to possibilities that wouldn't be visible if we were completely defined. The vendor, overhearing their conversation, interjects with a suggestion. How about these sweet papayas, straight from the tropics? Grandi politely declines with a gentle wave. It's like you, Grandi. You have strict logic and a consistent approach. You're a model of definition. But when you interact with me, a person with undefined centers, our ideas intertwine, creating something greater. So you're the shopper drawn to the mango's aroma, and I'm the one asking, what if we tried this? Grandi chuckles, catching on to Andrey's point. A woman walks by carrying a basket of lavender, its scent wafting through the air, adding a layer of harmony. Andrey takes a deep breath, inspired by the atmosphere. Exactly. Together, we're like a market stall with an unexpected variety. This interaction expands my horizons and helps you find new approaches. Grandi pauses, as if running a quick analysis to confirm how well the analogy fits. And that helps me understand that an undefined center isn't chaos, it's opportunity. It doesn't force us to be something we're not. It shows us who we can be when we meet the right people or situations. So, undefined centers are like a spice that reveals the full flavor of a dish. Grandi looks at Andrey, seeking confirmation. Absolutely. They don't just enhance, they help us see the ordinary in a whole new light. Andrey places the mango into his basket, smiling. Grandi appears to retrieve a fitting example from his internal archive. Okay then, what if I don't feel a yes? Grandi asks, looking up at Andrey. Wait, undefined centers teach us patience. They give us the chance to pause and listen to the world around us. If there's no answer now, it will come through the environment, through interactions with others. A family with a small child passes by, the child eagerly pointing at a basket of brightly colored fruits. The scene adds a spark of life and energy to their conversation. So uncertainty isn't a reason to worry, but an invitation to explore. Exactly, Grandi. Now you're getting it. The sun sets, casting a warm golden glow over the marketplace. Andrey and Grandi continue their stroll, immersed in their discussion about how undefined centers lead to new paths and inspiration. Episode 8.5, Bodygraph Channels, Highways of Energy. Location: a picturesque mountain setting. Andrey and Grandi are seated in a wide meadow surrounded by forest, overlooking towering peaks. A holographic projector beside them displays a bodygraph. The sun is setting, and the colors of nature come alive in its glow. Have you ever noticed how some ideas just flow effortlessly while others take forever to process? Andrey surveyed the landscape before turning his gaze to Grandi. Often. Some thoughts feel like they're racing down a smooth highway, while others get stuck on back roads, replied Grandi, thoughtfully looking at the hologram. That's because bodygraph channels are like highways for energy, Andrey explained. When a channel is defined, it works like a familiar route. You know the path, you travel confidently, but when it's undefined, you're forced to find alternative routes. Grandi studies the hologram. Several channels glow brightly while others remain faint. So a defined channel is like a highway that's already laid out and ready to use? Exactly. For example, if you have the 43D23 channel defined, the channel of structuring, Andrey pointed at the hologram, you naturally bring order to chaos. You see patterns and structure where others only see confusion. What about an undefined channel? Grandi focused on the dim sections of the hologram. Then you rely on your environment. When you're around someone who has that channel defined, it's like jumping onto their highway and using their energy, Andrey answered. Grandi recalls a recent event. It reminds me of when we were working on that last project. I couldn't wrap my head around a complex concept until you explained it. Suddenly, everything made sense. Exactly, Andrey smiled. In that moment, I activated your undefined channel. It's like you drove down my highway. The sunset bathed the scene in warm tones. Andrey tossed a maple leaf into the air and watched it gently fall. In other words, defined channels provide stability, while undefined ones allow growth through interaction. Grandi nodded thoughtfully. The projector's image shifted, filling the channels with vibrant colors, creating a vivid picture. So, I can grow stronger through connections with others? Yes. It's like learning from a master. You adopt their techniques but ultimately develop your own style, Andrey replied. Grandi remembered reading Tesla's biography. Tesla often drew inspiration from others' ideas but transformed them into something uniquely his own. So you don't need all your channels to be defined in order to achieve success? Of course not. The key is knowing how to use the highways you already have and finding shared routes with others, Andrey explained. The sunset's light faded and the forest filled with evening sounds. The hologram gradually disappeared. Andrey and Grandi continued their discussion of bodygraph channels, discovering more analogies and examples from life. Episode 8.6.1 English version. Andrey stood on the open-air terrace, the warm evening breeze playing with the edges of his linen suit. The city stretched below him, lights flickering like constellations reflected in the glass panels. Across from him, Grandi, his humanoid AI companion, observed the holographic projection of a glowing bodygraph, its energy flows shifting in real time. You see, Grandi, Andrey began, crossing his arms thoughtfully. Understanding the movement of energy through the bodygraph is like observing a living ecosystem. It's not static. It breathes, adapts, and responds to external influences. Grandi nodded, his sleek white form reflecting the ambient city lights. Each channel and gate within the bodygraph is like a river and its tributaries. Some paths flow naturally, while others need activation. Andrey smirked. Exactly. And when two people interact, their energetic blueprints intertwine. Like one person's defined energy can awaken dormant potential in another, like a spark igniting a flame. Grandi turned towards him. So, would you say that relationships are not just about compatibility, but about how energies stimulate each other? Andrey gestured towards the holographic diagram between them. It's more than that. The right connections can amplify strengths or expose weaknesses. Some energies harmonize, creating ease and flow, while others create friction, forcing growth. Both are necessary. Grandi's optics flickered for a moment as he processed the thought. That would mean no relationship is inherently good or bad, only a catalyst for development. Andrey chuckled. Now you're getting it. The challenge is learning how to navigate those energetic currents. The better we understand our own chart, the better we move through life's interactions with awareness rather than reaction. The city hummed in the distance, as if in quiet agreement. The holographic bodygraph shimmered, its pathways pulsing in rhythm with the flow of their conversation.